We are going to do a walk-in US of A. Come on in. We're going to talk about it this morning on Juneteenth. Let's talk about what's going on in the US of A as people who live here in the USA celebrate Juneteenth. Do you celebrate Juneteenth? Come on in. Like the video, like, share, and subscribe. Got a lot to talk about. Got my little notes because it's some details, some things I want to share. And please engage. Let me know your thoughts on any of these topics that we discuss. The topic right now that has my attention more so than others right now, for the moment, let's just say for the moment, there's so much that's changing. It's like you stop and try to deal with one thing, and then something else goes down, and then you pivot. Hold on, walking past someone who's washing their truck with a pressure washer. Okay, so there's a lot going on. And I want to talk about what's going on in the state of Mississippi right now regarding in the state of Mississippi, there was a 1-year-old baby who was unalived at the hands of a police officer. So I want to talk about that case because I heard about it earlier during the week. I seen the headlines. I'll say that. I seen the news headline that said 1-year-old boy shot and killed by police officer in Mississippi. So I seen the headline. Like I said, it's been a lot going on. When I have done content, it has been on the Karmelo Anthony case. So I'm constantly, every day, learning new things centered around that case. So that's kind of been where my attention has been pretty much since the start of that trial all the way to its conclusion. And every day there's just more information that's unfolding. So while I've been taking that in, please come on in, like the video. Good morning. Good morning. So as I'm still taking that in and following that, I learned of a shooting that took place in Mississippi. The name of the city is Senitobia, Mississippi. Are you familiar with that? Hey, what's up? Let me see, Keisha. Hey, what's going on? Are y'all familiar with Senitobia, Mississippi? My brother, he grew up in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. So I've been there, visited there a few times, but I'd never heard of Senatobia, Mississippi. So when I looked it up, it said it was almost 4 hours away from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. So Senatobia, Mississippi. Senitopia, Mississippi. So this is where this shooting took place. So y'all come on in, like the video. I want to give you the background as to what happened with this case. Because I've been, last night, I kind of got the details of it. I listened to the mother of the baby boy speak on the matter. So I want to give you all some information based off of, what I found in my research, also coupled with information that the mother shared when she was interviewed following the shooting that resulted in the death of her 1-year-old baby boy, Cohen Wiley. So come on in. Please like the video. Just double tap the screen. It helps with the algorithm. So on Sunday, June 14th, at approximately 2 o'clock, there was a shooting that took place in the parking lot of Walmart in Senatobia, Mississippi. So the circumstances was the young lady Her name was Valencia Wiley. So Valencia Wiley was walking out of Walmart with her child, her 1-year-old son, Cohen Wiley. Then they were walking out with a friend who actually is the person who drove them to Walmart. So all three of them are the two adults walking out, one adult holding the baby. Someone comes walking out of the Walmart trying to stop them. Please, you all like the video. Please, it's 81 of you. It's growing. Just do me a 1-2 double tap. I'm giving y'all the information, y'all. I got my notes and all because we got a lot to talk about. So there ain't gonna be no lies. I don't tell lies. I come with the information. So whatever information I'm sharing with you, this is what's out there. So the two young, the two adults, they're walking out of the store. Someone comes running kind of behind them and trying to get the attention of the second adult. That person's name, I haven't seen their name be released yet. They are the driver of the vehicle. So someone comes running out the door to get the attention to stop the second adult, the unnamed adult. The other adult, Valencia, who's holding the baby, she's like, well, I proceed to walk to the car with my baby because they weren't talking to me. They were talking to her, so I went to the car. So she gets in the car. Shortly after she gets in the car, her friend arrives to the car. She's the person who's the driver of the car. She arrives to the car, gets in the car, and then starts to pull out of the parking lot. So here's the thing. You guys just try to keep up and follow me because now I'm about to get into the detail of what the mother of the 1-year-old said. So what I just told you, like she pretty much kind of said that. But while she was in the car, she says that once her friend, whoever jumps in the car, she takes notice that there were some other people coming running out from wherever towards the car. So while she's taking notice of these things, the driver is starting to move the car, put it in reverse. She says she's seen police officers pull up and she went to hold baby Cohen up to show them, hey, there's a baby in the car. Y'all, it's 140 of y'all. Please like the video. She goes to hold the baby up to show, because she said her friend did not have any tint. There was no tint in the windows. So she holds the baby up so the officers will see that, okay, I see y'all coming towards us. And then she says she tries to open up the door. I guess she wanted to get out of the car. So while she tries to open up the door, the driver, the friend, reverses the car. When she reverses the car, she hits another vehicle. At this point, she said when she reverses the car, her door, the young lady who's holding the baby in her lap, Valencia, she said her door slams back shut. Because remember, I told y'all she went to open up her door because she's seen police officers I guess she's like, oh shit, let me try to get out of this car. But the driver was already moving the car. So when the driver moved the car to reverse back, it automatically closed her door back. Y'all see what I'm saying? Y'all follow me? So at that point, gunshots started being fired. She said 3 or 4 rounds started being fired. One hit her baby in his side. That's baby Cohen. And then 2 hit the driver, one in her arm and one in her thigh. So the mother of the baby boy, she didn't get hit. She was holding her baby, but she didn't get hit. She's the only one out of all 3 that were in the vehicle that did not get hit. So she said after that, they all went to the hospital. Her son there was pronounced dead. Baby Cohen, rest in peace, baby Cohen. He was only 1 year old. You can Google the story and see the picture of him. Very cute, precious little baby boy. So he didn't live. Remember, he got shot in his side. He was in her lap in the front seat. So she said while she was there, they let her leave. She wasn't charged with anything. She said that as they were walking out of the hospital, there were news reporters and people were like, oh, what happened or whatever. And there was an officer saying there was theft or whatever. So she's saying, the mother, Valicia, she's saying the accusation of the theft isn't against her, it's against her friend who was the driver. So Valicia said no charges, nothing was put on to her. Now, what I haven't learned yet, and I don't think it's out yet, I haven't learned if any charges was filed against the driver of the vehicle. I don't know that yet. Um, Good morning. From what I learned, there was serious injuries to that driver. So that driver was still kind of being treated for the injuries. So maybe all of that will be dealt with like once the driver like gets released from medical care. But the young lady who's talking, she said no charges was filed against me. She said we went through the self checkout. So you all think about it. These were over some diapers, baby diapers. So the information I have, what I'm gathering, it's there was accusations that the driver, I guess, had stolen the diapers. The mother of the baby, Valicia Wiley, Valicia Wiley, she's a young girl. She looks like she's maybe about 20, young mom. She says she has a receipt, like they went through self checkout. So she says she didn't steal anything. So here's my thing, you all. Y'all like the video. From all that I've told you, and just off of the information I have thus far, I feel like the mother, Valicia, who had the baby, she didn't steal anything, but I can't really speak on the friend. Y'all see what I'm saying? Because how many of y'all know sometimes you'll be with people, you know what you done or what you didn't do, but you can't really speak on with somebody else who may be with you, what they may have done. You can't speak on that. You just know what you didn't do. So I believe, based off of just the information that I'm hearing, it's very plausible that the mother of the baby boy did not steal anything. But I'm not going to sit up here and just act naive like it's not a possibility that the driver didn't, based off of how the driver handles the situation. The way the driver handled that situation is giving that she was trying to get the hell out of there. Like some stuff had popped off and she was like, listen, we got to go. Because it's not a natural reaction to just flee a situation when you know you have nothing, you've done nothing wrong. It's you didn't do anything wrong, so why are we running? How many of y'all know at Walmart nowadays, I know where I live, there's someone standing at the door and they're wanting to check your receipts. From my understanding, I think that happens when you have items that can't go inside of a bag or something. So they'll want to check your receipt. And I think that when, there was these diapers in place, so usually they probably were in a box. I have children, they're all big, so they're not babies, but I remember, going to the store, picking up the box of the diapers, and that can't go in a bag or anything. So you're walking out of the store with the diapers in hand or inside of the cart. So the mother of the baby said they went through the self-checkout. I believe that when they went through the self-checkout, there may have possibly been some things paid for, but maybe not everything. Y'all see what I'm saying? Because I've been covering politics on this channel. If y'all new to this channel, welcome. My name's Sheik. This channel is called Sheik Speaks on it. And last year, 2025, I covered just all things politics. And I talked about how there were a lot of stores starting to regulate the self-checkout real hard because there's a lot of theft and things that takes place through the self-checkout where people don't maybe ring up all the items. Like I've seen TikTok videos, you all, where people will be like, yo, they'll have this expensive item, but they'll say they rung up something else that was like really cheap. Like they would be gloating about it and doing TikToks about it. And it'd be like these young people like doing it. So I knew that was a thing where people would go inside of these stores, go through self-checkout, pay for some things. They'll have a receipt, but they won't ring up the expensive item. So as I'm listening to all the information, listening to the mother of the baby tell her story as to what happened, it has me to think that mama may have rang up her stuff, whatever she got, but the person she's with may not have done the same thing. Or all, like I say, they were together. The mama was doing a checkout. She rang up some of the stuff, and whether it be intentional or not, the diapers may not have gotten rang up. I don't know, but there was reason to question them. The mother said when they walked out, as soon as they walked out the store, somebody was on the heels of the friend trying to question her. She was like, well, I can't walk. So this is what was suspect to me as the reaction. Mama said, well, I kept walking because they weren't talking to me. I personally don't feel like that's a natural response when you're with someone and you're confident that there was nothing that they did wrong. I don't think it's natural. Y'all let me know in these comments because I was talking to my husband. I'm like, yo, if me or you are together, someone walks out of the store and want to get your attention about something that popped off in the store. I'm not gonna be on some. I meet him at the car. He got. Look. I'm just as engaged as he is. What we got? What did you say? Like, y'all, let me know in these comments if you're with anybody and they're stopped as if you all are walking out of a store. Are you gonna be on some? I'll meet them at the car. Or are you gonna be on some goddamn like we in this together? Now, what do you mean? Because you about to have the back of your person you with. Like, well, what you talking about? You said what? No, like who's not gonna be have the back of the person they're with? So what caught me off guard is the mom's response being, "Well, I just kept walking because they weren't talking to me." That's not a natural reaction for someone who feels like there was nothing suspect that had taken place. I'm just putting that out there. Now, you all, this ain't got nothing to do with outside how the officers handle the situation. We breaking this thing apart because two things can be true at one time. There could have been some suspect stuff taking place, but then it also could be a wrongful way of the way things were being handled. Y'all see what I'm saying? You can't be, we ain't no one trick pony over here. We looking at the whole situation. So I'm not finna just rule out that it wasn't no suspect stuff taking place in the people's store. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because it didn't sit right with me when her response was, well, when they came out questioning her, I just kept walking because they weren't talking to me. What? Listen, we rode together. How many of y'all operate like we rode together? It wasn't like it was a random person that she was walking out beside and they tried to get the person's attention. And her response was, oh, they weren't talking to me. That is a natural response. You like, shit, I'm minding my business, they ain't talking to me. But if I'm with someone, you're my business. You are my business. If I'm with someone and somebody trying to roll up on a person I'm with, we walking out of a store, that's my business too. We're together. I'm finna co-sign for this person. Like, what were you talking about? That's why I use the example of me and my husband walking out of the store. They trying to get his attention. I'm not finna be on the I meet you at the car. Fuck that. What we doing? What we got now? What you say? You say, oh, okay, yeah, we got this. Listen, I'm probably gonna take over and do all the goddamn talking. If you can't tell, I can get it in with these words. So I didn't like how she said. I just was like, oh, they ain't talking to me. Number two, she's in the car. Her friend gets in the car. At this point, the friend know that people are on her tail. They start to be surrounded. Mother of the baby, she holds up the baby to show, hey, I got a baby with me. Then she says she then goes to try to open up the door and the friend reverses the car. Friend, why are you reversing the car? You see, you all are surrounded. There's cars. There's y'all surrounded. You just shook the people and ran out of the damn Walmart. If you own some legit stuff, why are you running? Why are you running? This is a misfortunate situation, one that could have definitely been prevented. And we're going to start with theft. I really need that to be ruled out. Right now, people in the community are, oh, so back to the shooting, y'all, before I get to the activist, the protest stuff, because it's going down in Senitobia, Mississippi, y'all. It's going down at the Walmart, in front of the Walmart. Tear gas and all going down. So the police officer, so the mother of the baby says when her friend reversed the vehicle, she reversed going left against everybody who was on the right. So she's saying her friend did not intentionally try to run anybody over. She was actually trying to go in an opposite direction. So the police officer who shot and killed the baby, I got his name. What's his name? Let me see. Hold on, y'all. Let me see what his name is. I haven't seen what he looks like yet. What this man's name is. Sergeant Hunter. Child, his name Hunter. We got another Hunter. He ain't Metcalf. He Hunter Foster. This is Hunter Foster. Sergeant Hunter Foster said that he shot because the driver tried to run him over. He said the driver tried to run him over. Y'all, that's that. So last year I told you I was covering politics, and y'all remember Renee Good, the white woman who got killed. And where was she? Was she in Ohio? I think she was maybe in Ohio. And remember the ICE officer shot and killed her because he said that she tried to run him over. So, it just took me back to that because I was covering, politics, and I was covering, the immigration stuff, all of that heavy, y'all. I was covering it heavy. And so I'm like, damn. So I remember how that worked out, where basically nothing happened with the officers. They just kind of got shifted around and moved to another location. But ain't nobody lost their jobs. They said it was no further investigation being done. The officer said his life was, he feared for his life. Y'all know how I go. If an officer are hollering, they fear for their life, baby. So the people in the community are yelling from the rooftops, we want to see the cam. We want to see the body cam. What happened to him? Is he on leave? Was he suspended from work? So there was a guy who did like a press conference there on Tuesday. Some commissioner guy or whatever. He's not connected. He's not in the law enforcement, but he got some type of position well enough for where they was able to give him a mic and get up there and talk to the people. Then people weren't trying to hear a damn thing that white man was saying because he wasn't talking about nothing. Whenever they would ask him questions about protocol, what to expect, he didn't have any answers. Everything he was saying was like, well, different precincts handles things differently. Y'all know. So it was giving someone in the audience was like, so basically, they can do whatever the hell they want to do. Basically, that's what you're saying, because you're unable to sit here and tell us what protocol is when you respond to a theft situation. You're unable to tell us that. You're unable to tell us, okay, when video camera, when the footage is going to be released. You can't tell us that. We are asking, what about the officer? Will he be put on leave or whatever? You can't give us shit about that either. So basically, y'all, it was given that they just gonna handle it however they see fit, and it's not like a protocol. He did that press conference. He said at that time he was saying it had been 48 hours since the incident happened. So I guess that was Tuesday. Them folks was on that man, them people neck so bad. By that night, Tuesday night, Officer Hunter Foster was placed on leave. But I said, okay, he on leave, but Google, AI, ChatGPT, Claude, what kind of damn leave? Because you got paid leave, and then you got the unsuspended, you got unpaid leave. Y'all, guess what kind of leave Foster Hunter is on? I'm sorry, Hunter Foster. Yes, he is on paid leave. He is out on paid leave effective Tuesday night, 14th, so effective June 16th, that night. That is when he got put on leave. So the leave came as a result of the people in the community being pissed off, rightfully so, because why wasn't he already on leave? The incident happened on Sunday at 2 o'clock. Why, at the latest by Monday, this man was not on leave? Why wasn't he on leave Tuesday during the day when this press conference was taking place? That tells me that there was no intention to have this man go out on leave. But because the people in the community was like, oh, hell no. First, we got damn um, Cyrus, y'all, Cyrus Carmack Belton. That was the 14-year-old that Rick Chow unalived and shot him in the back, and he got off scot free. Then we just finished dealing, we're still trying to damn mentally work through the Karmelo Anthony um, guilty murder charge and guilty verdict with a 35-year sentence. And then this happened. Oh no. Then people at that press conference, y'all, on Tuesday was going in. They y'all looking up. They was going in. They was like, what you heard, you ain't saying shit until you start telling us what this video footage is, when it's about to come out. Until you tell us that this officer is going to be, we ain't trying to hear you saying, oh, and oh, commissioner, whatever the hell you are, you talking about, you don't want no violence or whatever. We can't tell because you ain't saying shit. So then, y'all, this is what really got the people pissed off. He was like, yeah, when I get some more information, he said, I'll come back out and I give y'all another update. But then I may not come back out because it may not be no more information. What the fuck you mean no more information? Player, you just told us that you don't know shit. So at least you're going to have to go and fucking get some answers to come back to tell the people, damn, what they was asking. What do you, them people cussed that man out so bad. They cussed his ass out so bad, rightfully so. What do you mean? Oh, well, there may not even be any information that I need to come back to give. That one was, it was a sister, a black. I can tell by her voice. She said, what you mean? You may not even be coming back to give no updates. We gonna need for you to even at least come back to even say there is no updates, because by you not saying shit, it's leaving us to believe that ain't shit happening. You see what I'm saying? That man was on some, well, what you heard. Lion said, I may come back or I may not. This is the shit I be talking about, y'all. This right here. This right here. This right here. So then I seen this other clip. I don't know if the mayor, if he black, because they were talking before this black guy. Black guy. So he the one was doing the talking. So I don't know if he the mayor. Y'all look up and see the mayor. If the mayor, a black guy, that kind of darker complexion, bald head. So they in his face. And they on him, asking him when they was like, y'all, what took me out. This is how people, we know what's up. They was like, this the people in the community. They were like, when the webcam footage coming out? We talking about the footage, the unaltered footage, the real footage. When that come out? Y'all know, we know what time it is when we go in detail like that. Like, fuck that, y'all altering. We ain't trying to give y'all no window, no time to be damn playing with footage and shit. Because what's coming out is that's what happened with the Karmelo Anthony case. There are people right now who are coming out saying that they watched the actual video last year, but they also was put on an NDA. That's why they didn't talk until now. Because y'all, I didn't know it was a thing that when something happens, you can go and request to see, I guess in the community. I don't know if it has to be school related stuff. I don't know, y'all, because this is new to me. But did y'all know that you can go and request to watch footage of things that happen that's supposed to be, I guess, a part of an investigation and all that? I don't know even how to explain it. But what it is that in the state of Texas, there were regular citizens, people in the community who put in a request, went to wherever they went to go watch the footage of the incident that took place between Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. So there's people who've been coming out, giving their story, telling their story, and talking about how that experience went, what they saw, what their opinions was from what they saw, how they feel about what the verdict, what the outcome was. Y'all, that's because they watched the video. So it's being concluded that the people in the jury room did not see the full video, because the people who went to watch the full video, they all said when they went there to say, hey, I'm here to watch the video from the incident of the stabbing of the student who stabbed the other student, they were like, do you want to see it from the 2 minute mark, or do you want to see the 11-minute mark, which the lead up to it? All of these people who watched the video said, fuck that, I want to see the whole thing. Who the hell coming in there talking about only 2 minutes? Who only trying to see 2 minutes? But there was a white woman who I listened to do an interview yesterday on, I don't know, the content creator name is, I think his channel is called No Cap with Breezy. Look that up. It's gonna come up because he's trending. He's been interviewing all these people who watched the video. And so the white woman was saying when she went there, they said, well, do you want to see the two from the 2 minute mark or the 11-minute? Most people want to see the 2 minute. I found that to be interesting because everybody else who I heard talk about seeing the video, the full video last year, none of them said that somebody said most people want to see the 2 minute. They just said they were presented with the two options, and they all said they went with the 11-minute options. I said, we want to see the whole situation. We want to see the whole thing. So apparently, it's coming out that during the trial, those people did not see the full video. They seen the quote unquote 2 minutes. They didn't see the context, the lead up to, like these people who saw the video last year. So I just want to add that in. So these people today, my people like, fuck that, what y'all not gonna do is play in our face, be altering some shit. Also, these people who watched that Carmelo video said that shit was crystal clear. Whereas the people in the trial, they were saying how it was very grainy. You see what I'm saying? You see how they're playing in your face, they're playing games with you? So these people in Mississippi was like, oh, what you're not gonna do is play in our face. That's what you're not gonna do. So they went off on his, that black man ass. They went off on him too. The white ones was sitting around just looking real confused, unbothered, all of that. The black guy was just the one just bobbing and weaving against the people as they were going ham on him, asking him when the body cams was coming out, when was the officer going to go on leave, all of these things. So probably this conversation with them, that probably was also Tuesday. Y'all, I think a lot of this shit took place Tuesday because the people also went back to the Walmart. The people in the community went back to the Walmart, like protesters, activists, they all went to the Walmart. And the police peppers, they used tear gas on the people. Tear gas was used on the people out there. And the activist was like, it was wrong. It says the tear gas was used without warning or provocation. They just let the tear gas out on the people. So if you Google it, like you'll see the news clips, you can see where the people, where there's tear gas, where there's a bunch of smoke and things. That's tear gas that they let out. That was Tuesday. So it seems like Tuesday was an intense day because that was the day that commissioner guy stood up and told them people with a straight face that I ain't got shit to tell y'all, and I might not even be coming back out here to give y'all no more updates. That was that day he got cut smooth the hell out, rightfully so. And then that was the day that I think that was also probably that same day they had went before the black guy. I don't know what his title was, but he the one was doing all the talking. So I'm wondering if he's like the mayor, the mayor or something. I don't damn know, but he got that work too. He got that work too. And then I seen with with the protest. So a lot of the stuff was taking place on Tuesday. Ben Crump, the activist attorney, and he's involved, I think, right now. I think with this case, y'all, it's deep out here. It's deep. So the officer is on leave. He is on a paid leave while they investigate the shooting. It's hot, it's sunny out. I can't really see y'all comments. So when I get a chance, I'll try to look through it. But the officer is on paid leave, and his claim was, listen, I was fighting for my life. All my life I had to fight. He on some all my life I had to fight type stuff. So he was like, listen, I had to do, I had to just be the quick draw and just shoot. So now as a result of that, over some diapers, because don't forget, you remember this was all over the allegations that there was theft centered around some diapers. Was there theft? We don't know. It could have been, then maybe not. But right now, the camera footage has not been released to the public. So people are wanting to see that the people in the community are requesting the footage from inside of Walmart. that shows, them in the store, I guess shopping, doing the checkout, lead all the way to when they walked out of the store, them being stopped. Like they trying to see it all, like rightfully so. They're like, we want to see everything. We want to see the body cam of the officer who shot the baby. If the car was coming at him when he shot, like we want to see it all. We want to see it all. Um, yeah, y'all, it's crazy. That's the situation with the what's going on in Senitobia, Mississippi. Senatobia, Mississippi. Look into that. Hello, good morning. So Cohen Wiley is the 1 year old. May he rest in peace. He's no longer here because um, of the actions. Let's just say this: baby Cohen Wiley is no longer here because of the poor actions of adults. Let's just say that. Because regardless of who was right and wrong, whether it be the adults that he was in the care of or the police officers, they were all adults. So he is no longer here due to the piss poor behavior of adults. Adults. So we're waiting to learn just kind of like the details of, okay, what transpired? Was there theft? Because remember, Mama Cohen's mother, Felicia, said she was not arrested and she was not charged. The accusation was against her friend who was the driver of the vehicle. She ended up getting caught up in the situation and her baby got caught up and as a result her baby lost his life. One thing I don't feel like, I don't know if it can't be argued. From what I'm hearing, just from even the mother of the baby's side, about how the friend moves were, the friend wasn't acting responsibly that day. Even if the friend did not steal, I don't feel like the friend handled that situation properly, especially knowing that there was a baby with her. If you did not steal anything, what is the big deal with you showing proof that you did not steal anything? You have nothing to hide, right? You have nothing to hide. And especially when you see that it ain't got so serious to where you're surrounded and police officers are here, because before she started moving that car and all of that, they seen the police. The mother of the baby tried to get out of the car because she said she seen the police. And I think she's seen that they had their guns drawn. I think she's seen that. I can't say, let, I believe she's seen them have their guns drawn. Let me just say that. She saw the police, that's for sure. But she then said she held her baby up so they could see I have a baby in the car. So she may have done that being proactive just in case they did draw their guns, or she's seen where they had their guns out. I'm not sure on that detail part, but she did say she held her baby up so they could see her baby and not shoot in the car. That was her reasoning as to why she held her baby up. She said, my friend did not have tint on her windows. There was no tint on the windows. I wanted them to see my son. So the gunshot still followed after she held the baby up to show there was a baby in the car. Was there another way, given that there was a baby in the car, that those officers could have handled that situation? Was there another way? Knowing, because we're not talking about as though it wasn't known that a baby was in the car. She's saying I held my baby up so they could see. So will he go with, that's not true. I didn't see no baby. I didn't know it was a baby in the car. That's why we need to see the camera footage. That's why we need to see the camera footage to see if her story aligns with what truly happened in that parking lot. because we got two different situations going on. We got the situation of what happened in Walmart, and then we got the situation of what happened in the parking lot. Because the situation that happened in Walmart is what led to what happened in the parking lot. So it's important for us to understand and to know and have all the facts pertaining to what transpired in Walmart. Because here's the thing, if Walmart was wrong, and research shows just like, but here's the thing, y'all, even with this is very similar with the Rick Chow and the Cyrus Belton case, because I'm telling y'all what I was about to say is that if it comes to show that in Walmart there was no theft, then outside they should be wrong for that. But with the Rick Chow case, we came to see that the Asians, Rick Chow and his family, his wife and son, were wrong with what they said transpired inside of the convenience store. But still, what took place outside, they were still viewed as being right. Y'all see what I'm saying? So it's like what because even when you prove that someone was wrong on the front end, we have seen that it don't negate how things can be handled on the back end, even though it started with the wrongful accusation on the front end. See, this that shit I be talking about, y'all. You know what? See, that's why I become alive and telling y'all this stuff, because I get to thinking about just things and like, okay, how can we handle, what can we do in the future? But it's like, y'all, this is a situation to where even if it comes out that there was no proof or nothing to support that there was theft, what took place outside could still stand, and that officer still not be indicted. We've seen it take place. We've seen Rick Child get off, even though they ran that boy down, 14-year-old down, over a dollar valued bottle of water. No water found on him. It was shown on the cameras that he did not steal, but the owner of the convenience store, Rick Chow, was still able to get off. So I'm connecting that still with this Walmart story, because remember, Cyrus was trying to run away from the workers at the convenience store. He was trying to run away from them because they was chasing after him, that he was running. This situation at Walmart, the driver was trying to run away too, for whatever the reason was. But we need to know, okay, what happened in the Walmart store? Did she, while she was in Walmart, what did she communicate to them? Because for them to still have been on her tail, it clearly wasn't enough to support that she rightfully walked out of the stores with the items, because it doesn't make sense if they were still on her tail. So that's why I'm thinking my initial thoughts was just using common sense, putting one and one together to add up to two, is that there were some things purchased and some things not. And the clerks at the store at Walmart was wanting to talk to her about the items that they had reason to believe were not purchased. So here's my thing also. Sometimes you think you rang up something when you're doing the self-checkout, or even when someone's ringing up your things, because it's happened to me before, where you think everything was removed from your cart and put on the belt to be scanned by the store clerk, and then you leave and you realize, oh shoot, they didn't ring this up. How many of you have experienced that? And in some situations, you turn around and you go back in there. And in some situations, you're like, oh shit, I mean, they didn't ring it up. Oh, okay, well, it is what it is. What I'm saying is that it is not uncommon for people to leave a store without ringing up everything, and it wasn't intentional, because it happens. In this situation, if that was the case and it happened, the right thing should have been is for that adult, being a responsible adult, saying, oh, my bad, I thought I rang that up. Let me check my receipt. Oh, snap, it's not on here. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna come back in and ring it up. I actually thought I rang it up. I really believe that if it would went down like that, we wouldn't even be talking about this story right now, because that's typically what someone a store is looking for you to do, is to either leave the item or be on some, oh, my bad, I'll pay for it. I didn't realize that I left with it. But the way that the lady dismissed it and kept going, that's what had the matter to be escalated. So to me, the way the driver was handling the situation, it wasn't that of someone who felt like they was in the right. To me, it was the energy of someone saying, well, let me get out of here because they about to try to hem me up or make me proof or whatever. So I need to hurry up and get out of here. I need to hurry up and get out of here. And it's a part of me that feels like the mother of the baby, as they were leaving Walmart, she knew that them people had rightful reason to question her friend. That's why she kept walking, because her response was, well, they came out trying to talk to her. It didn't have nothing to do with me. That's normal response when you're with someone and there's someone that's trying to address him about a matter. You're not going to just leave them by themselves. You're going as a support, as a witness. You might need to speak up and say, well, no, that's not what happened here. I can show you. I'm the one who actually did it. You maybe didn't see her paper, but I did it. Let me show you what I got. You see what I'm saying? As a support. Back to this damn Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf case. Eddie, the friend that we'll loosely say the friend who Carmelo was supposedly talking to, did not vouch for him when he was underneath that tent. This is that stuff I'm talking about, y'all. It's not natural behavior for your people to be in a situation and you can vouch for them, support them, protect them in some type of way, and you not do nothing. That's not normal behavior. That's not normal behavior. When they asked Eddie on the stand, well, did you say something when the other people were questioning who Carmelo was and why he was over here? No. Well, hell, why not? Why didn't you say something to them when they were questioning who he was and why he was here? I mean, I didn't feel like I needed to. What the? I just told y'all, baby Cohen's mama said the same thing. I kept walking. Hell, they wasn't talking to me. Y'all see what I'm saying? That is a response of some type of guilt. Y'all welcome. Like the video. My background, my name is Sheik. My background is clinical mental health counseling. So a lot of times, y'all, I talk about stuff and I insert mental health and I break this shit down because I get into the psychology of a lot of stuff. Because when some don't make sense to me, I'm just like, you got to make it make sense to me. And the situation with the Walmart shooting, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. And what I'm not going to do is just act like it does make sense with the behavior of the adults who the baby was in the care of. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. The adults who he was in the care of were not moving responsibly, in particular, the driver. The driver seeing that there were police on the scene. A responsible response isn't to put your car in reverse, hit another car, and try, like, that's not the responsible response. She can't say she didn't see the people, because the girl, the mother of the baby, said that they were surrounded. She seen them. That's why she held her baby up. She said she opened up the door to try to get out, but when the friend reversed the car, it made the door slam back shut. And then after the door slammed back shut, that's when the police officers start firing. And she said it was like 3 or 4 rounds that went inside of the car. One round hit the baby in his side. The other 2 rounds hit the driver, one in her arm and one in her thigh. The mother of the baby was not hit. She did not get struck at all, but her baby did. When they went to the hospital immediately following the situation, the baby was pronounced dead. And after a little bit, she was free to leave, because I guess they got confirmation that the accusation of theft wasn't against her. It was against her friend, who was still at the hospital being treated for her wounds. She was still at the hospital being treated for her wounds. I always say, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. These adults involved in this situation is what got this baby unalived. It was the adults that failed this baby. It was the adults. Because everybody that I just talked about in the story was an adult except for Cohen Wiley, who was 1 year old. 1 year old black baby boy. Sad situation. Sad, sad situation. But you all know this. I started this live out and I asked y'all, are y'all familiar with Senitobia, Mississippi? There's more of you all in here. Please double tap the screen, like the video while you're in here. Are you all familiar with Senitobia, Mississippi? Because I've never heard of this place before. The one city I'm familiar with is like Hattiesburg. My brother was raised there, with his father and stuff when he was younger. So I visited him throughout life there. So, and that's about almost 4 hours, roughly 4 hours away. So Senatobia, Mississippi. Let's share some fun facts about Senatobia, Mississippi. It is a place that's known for doing suspect things when it comes to um, the police force there. The police force have been involved in, this is now a third suspect case. And I have the notes here on the two other cases that have taken place prior to this one. They have the people in Senatobia looking at the local police force sideways, including me. I don't even live there. I live in Georgia. So I want to tell y'all about the Senatobia. Y'all let me know in this chat if y'all remember this case, because I'm not sure if I remember or not. Because I've seen a lot of craziness happen with kids, and they're kind of being treated like an adult in certain situations. That's just crazy. So I don't know if I've heard this one or if it's been a different, but I'm going to tell y'all about this particular case involving a 10-year-old boy in Senatobia, Mississippi. Okay, so in 2023, there was a 10-year-old boy arrested for urinating in public. So let me give you the background, because you always need to know the context of situation. And a lot of people don't care to know context of situation. They hear one thing and they just get the damn running like damn Forrest Gump. But I'm going to give y'all the context so y'all can use common sense and critical thinking, because that's what we do over here. If you're into that kind of thing, like, share, and subscribe. So the little boy, his name was Quantavious Eason. On this particular day, he was waiting in a car for his mother while she was inside of a building, taking care of some business. He saw on the building that it had a sign that says, no public restrooms. How many of you all have been out and about and you've seen signs like that? I know I've seen them plenty of times. It'll say no public restrooms. They may have restrooms for their employees, but they don't have public restrooms, right? So that's not uncommon. Little boy, he's 10. He knows how to read. So he's probably was maybe around the 5th grade. So, no, I take that back. He wasn't in 5th grade. I think they said that he was in like around 3rd grade or something. So, Quantavious Eason was in the store. He was saying, that he saw a sign that says no restroom. He said he had to go. He had to go like really bad. He had to pee like really bad. So what he did, he got out of the car and opened up the door and then proceeded to be discreet and urinate. Now, let's talk about it. Tell me, who's my 80s baby in here and older? Because I was born in 80. I'm 45. I grew up where there was moments where sometimes we were out and about, traveling wherever, and there was no bathroom. So guess what? Me and my siblings would have to do. We'd have to squat. We'd have to pee. We'd have to hide each other, open up the car door, do those things. Y'all don't act like I'm the only one who experienced that at any point in my life where I had to use the bathroom outside. We're not gonna do that. So y'all don't play with me. You're already playing with me with the lights. So don't play with me here. The little boy said that he opened up the door to discreetly urinate. And so he did that. Well, while he was doing that, there was an actual officer who took notice of it. Hello. There's an officer who took notice of it and approached him and basically gave him a warning. It's like, all right, and just gave him a pep talk. Young man, you can't do that. Gave him a warning. Well, soon after, I guess, when this officer encountered this young man, another 4 officers arrived. So the other four officers arrived, and I guess, the officer there was like, yo, yeah, he did this, but, I gave him a warning. They was on some no F no. We ain't giving him no warning. We arrested him. We taking him in. Now, I done told y'all the first officer who was there, who seen it, he gave the little boy a warning. I'm sure he heard the little boy's story. He was like, okay, well, I'm going to give you a warning, young man, but you can't be doing that. So I don't know if that officer had already called for backup for whatever damn reason. Let me stop this damn walk and talk about this. Y'all, what reason would it have been? How would those other four officers have known to arrive? So do y'all think so? Did that one officer phone backup? Because y'all, he said he watched it. I know there's officers and they'll phone for backup for certain situations. But is it protocol to call in for backup for every situation? I'm just wanting to know. Y'all let me know. Any police officers in here, if you're aware, is this normal protocol? Anytime you're about to go deal with a situation, you call for backup? Because how did these four officers know what was taking place? Because the one officer, he watched it. He watched the little boy do his due, approached him, said, hey, you can't do that. I'm going to give you a warning. Soon thereafter, four officers show up. Because in my research, I didn't read that there was some people who saw the little boy who called the police on him, where there was maybe some other phone calls that was made that resulted in some more people responding. That would make sense. But that is not what I read in the story. You all can Google the story. So the four officers, they come and they on some, you can't be, we taking him in. We're taking him in. So he was then put in the back of a police cruiser, taken to the precinct, and held in a cell for almost an hour. Yeah, for almost an hour, he was detained. Remember, they cuffed him, they put him in the back of the car, they put him in a cruiser, and he went to the police station, detained for nearly an hour. So he went before the juvenile jury. The judge, let me see, what's the judge name? Because I got his name too. He went before a judge. Let's see, I got the judge name. He went before the judge, and the judge, looks like I don't have his name. It's saying he was in third grade, but it has his age at 10. So y'all, that's gonna be another situation, y'all. This was goddamn Mississippi, so we're gonna leave that there. So the judge came in, so he went before a juvenile judge, and the juvenile judge was like, all right, then I'm gonna give you 3 months probation, and you're ordered to write a 2-page essay on Kobe Bryant. I repeat, the little boy was 10 years old, third grade. Listen, y'all, I'm just telling y'all what it's saying out here on the internet. 10-year-old, third grade, and a judge ordered him to write a 2-page essay on Kobe Bryant. Oh, the family was on some, oh, hell no. So following public backlash and the family's refusal to comply with any of that foolishness, the judge came back and said, all right, I'ma dismiss it. So in February 2024, a year later, because you all, this happened in 23. So a year later, the judge completely dismissed the case. Since then, the little boy's family, the 10-year-old boy's family, he was 10 at the time, so he's older than that now. But since then, his family has filed a $2 million lawsuit. They filed a $2 million lawsuit. Alleging emotional distress. The 2 million lawsuit alleges emotional distress, which the city of Senitobia officially settled this year in 2026. So I'm giving y'all the history of Senitobia, Mississippi, what took place where the 1-year-old baby boy was shot and killed in the Walmart parking lot over an allegation of a person in the community stealing diapers. So there was a settlement for that same city for $2 million. Well, let me just say, the family filed a $2 million lawsuit. That was a settlement. So likely, I don't know what the settlement was. Likely, they probably came in at a lower amount. I did not see during my research what the amount was. A lot of times that's kind of undisclosed. But they initially filed for $2 million. That was the initial request, and the city did settle. You know, this is the type of ish that's still taking place. This right here, these things, as we, I don't know, any of you in here are celebrating Juneteenth. As we celebrate Juneteenth, you all, is there really anything to celebrate as we celebrate Juneteenth? And you constantly hear about these stories of disparagement against Black people. But though we have this day that was given to us by Biden, because he like, listen, I ain't got no damn reparations for y'all, but I can give y'all this day off of work. Oh, and y'all ain't the only ones sitting at home because we can let everybody sit at home too. You're welcome. Like, so it's like, y'all, that's what happened because everybody had been on this reparation things, and Biden was like, nah, I mean, well, hell, I give y'all have Juneteenth, hell, I give y'all a day off. How about that? Shut up talking about it. So this is where we're at today. This is how we're just dismissed, because I told y'all at the press conference for the death of the 1-year-old, the commissioner guy was on some, well, this is all I got, and y'all may hear back from me again with an update, or he said, or y'all may not. Like, he was just so nonchalant about it. He was just so nonchalant, like, listen, it is what it is. Y'all may hear from me, y'all may not, but I ain't got no answers for y'all. And the people were not having that. They were not having that. So they went in front of the Walmart and protested. They're tired. People are just tired of being mistreated, treated unfairly. Y'all, I got one more case dealing with that city. Y'all think, nah, I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done. I told you I'm telling y'all about the history of this city, Senitobia, Mississippi. Y'all do your research. Get into Senitobia, Mississippi. There was another case involving an essay. A woman alleged that she was essayed. August 25th, 2023, a woman named Shantera Jackson said she and her fiance were driving in a neighborhood. Then they were pulled over by a police officer at gunpoint with no explanation. She was then, from that encounter, handcuffed, put in the back of a police car. And she said the officer drove to a remote location area, intentionally turned off his body camera, and essayed her. Y'all hear me? She said she was arrested with no explanation, put into a back of a police car, driven to a remote location in a wooded area, and she watched the officer turn off his police camera prior to proceeding to essay her. The police department has denied the claims, and there has been a lawsuit filed, and she's using the same attorney who represented the 10-year-old boy who was arrested for urinating in public by his mama's car discreetly. Now, this lawsuit that Shantera Jackson has filed for SA, the parties that are involved are named in the lawsuit, I should say, because the lawsuit was filed May 2nd, 2024. The city of Senitobia is named in the lawsuit. The police chief, Richard Chandler, is named in the lawsuit. And the police officer, Willis McNeil, is named in the lawsuit. All those three entities, parties, whatever, they're all named in the lawsuit that was filed on May 2nd, 2024. So it's a lot going on in Senitobia, Mississippi. It's showing that they don't have a track record of moving the way they should when it comes to Black people within the community. Now, I'm not even sure what the demographic population is in that community. And it's in Mississippi, so I would be surprised if it's heavy Black people, but I'm not sure. You all can look that up. What's the demographic in Senitobia, Mississippi? Because I never heard of that city before you all until this week, this case. I'd never heard of it. But as I've done my research, I learned that they've had some other pretty high profile matters take place there that made headlines, that made news headlines. So any of these cases I've talked about, you can Google them and read up on these things yourself. Sometimes when I do lives, I'll be in front of my laptop and I'll show you some things. But on the walk-in talks, as I get my typically get a walk-in, try to get a walk-in daily. I'll just kind of go live and just talk about things that are going on in the world, trending topics as it relates, or just as of late, more so kind of um, things dealing with matters pertaining to the community versus the judicial system or law enforcement. That's kind of what I've been covering lately. I've been covering the Karmelo Anthony case lately and coming with updates on that. I do have an update on that, you all. Please come on in, like, share, and subscribe. So yeah, that's that on Shantara Jackson's case. So if you want to look into that case with the SA allegations in Senitobia, Mississippi, that incident happened in August 25th, 2023. The the claimant is Shantara Jackson. So you can Google that. The other situation involved a 10-year-old boy in 23 as well. That was also in 23. And his name was Quantavious Eason. So you can just put in 10-year-old boy arrested in Mississippi for urinating in public. It's going to come up. Y'all going to see it. So that's on that. Now, updates for the Karmelo Anthony case. Did y'all hear that the judge, what's that man name? Roach. I always remember Roach. John Roach. I think John Roach Jr. Jr. Did y'all hear Jr. is on his way out? He's already in the works of retiring. My. Yes, I repeat. Judge John Roach Jr. is currently in the planning stage, positioning himself to retire at the end of December 2026. So it's official retirement date, December 31st, 2026. Get into that. Y'all go look it up. John Roach Jr. will be retiring. He says that he plans to oversee at least 1 to 2 more homicide cases. You really don't need to, sir. You really don't. Listen, you really don't need to. But he said, no, I got y'all. I'm going to do at least 1 to 2 more cases this year. Don't worry about it. You're welcome. You're welcome. 1 to 2 more cases this year before I officially retire December 31st, 2026. Now, here's my thing, you all. I think that he's on his way out is because he already know Ish is already hitting the fan with this case as information is coming out, being centered around his background, his connection with the Metcalf family, because initially pictures that was circulating during the trial, they were trying to allege that, oh, it was AI, but since then there's been more photos of the judge with people connected to the case. And so it's just like all this ain't no AI. Stop playing. You can go to the Metcalf's, Austin Metcalf's father, what's his name, Jeff Metcalf's Facebook page and see the pictures, because that's how I saw it. And the trial was actually taking place when I saw it. So I think that he's on his way out because he don't want that. He knows that they coming for him. And it's just like, well, let me leave on my own. So therefore, there's no embarrassment with me getting removed. What y'all think? Because why are you leaving now? Why are you trying to retire now? He's not that old. I don't know how old he is. Maybe you all can kind of look up and see how old Judge Roach is. I did see that he's been on the bench for roughly 20 years. He's been on the bench for roughly 20 years. So I just feel like he's running. He's trying to leave because he knows that there will be a new trial granted. There's going to be a new trial granted. And when that takes place, all that he did or how he handled the trial, what he did do, what he didn't do, it's going to be scrutinized. And it's going to be done in a way to where it will be no choice but to have him to be removed. So y'all know how sometimes like we'll see that a lot of times with like police officers when there's some wrongful stuff done, they'll just go ahead and quietly leave on their own versus being forced out. Because leaving on their own, it's like, okay, they're protecting like their benefits and doing, getting all the things that they would normally be required, qualified for because they're leaving on their own versus being terminated. I feel like that's what's happening here. He's like, shit, y'all ain't finna mess with my pension. I'm about to leave on my own so I can still collect my money, my resources, and all of those things. And they say that for a new trial, it will probably take anywhere between 18 to 24 months for that to even take place. It would take about 18 to 24 months for that to even take place. So with him, he's like, okay, I got enough time to do some more damage because he don't need to be presiding over nobody cases because I don't have the details right now, but there's apparently been other cases that he has presided over that had suspect outcomes. Yeah. So look into Judge John Roach Jr. and his track record. Before I went live, I wanted to hurry up and go live because it's warm, it's hot out here. And I wanted to get my walk in. So um, I didn't do that deep dive officially to get the details centered around the allegations against him. I have gone into the allegations against the DA on another live where there was essay allegations against him. I think women that worked in the same office or something with him had accused him of sexual harassment, just all kinds of craziness. And there's some things I thought out there, believe that are on that's allegedly on the. Now that ain't even no alleged the situation with the DA. Like you all can go out there and find that those allegations that was put up against him with the judge. That's one I got to try to deep dive more. Those of you who may be familiar with his history, you can share it in here as far as what you know. Because when I researched him last week, I found more information centered around the DA versus the judge. But I'm hearing that there's things that's coming out about the judge having suspect behavior as well. So I got to get into that. But yes. So yes, when you do Google Judge Roach, is he retiring? It's going to come up yes. And it's saying at the end of the year, he will be retiring from being a judge after nearly 20 years. Just say when. It says karma is getting your kind now. Listen, karma don't miss. I've said that on my lives multiple times. Let me explain to you all what karma isn't good or bad. Karma is just the energy that you put out. It just means the same energetic force that you release, you put out, that is what's returned to you. You see what I'm saying? So if you put out good energy, you're going to receive good energy. Good things are going to happen to you. You put out negative energy, oh, nothing but you're going to experience bad things, negativity, things like that. So that's how it works. I feel like anyone involved in this case who lied, which is coming out that damn everybody who got on that stand lied and changed their testimonies from their written testimony 1 year ago to today, because everybody's talking now. Everybody's talking. The gag order is up. Everybody is talking from the judge. I think the last live I did, maybe I showed where the judge was talking. The judge is talking. So you all like, share, and subscribe because I be coming with some receipts. The judge is talking, and he was like, he's proud with how the case went, and he feels like this case, that the Karmelo Anthony versus Texas case, should be a case that it should, all cases should be mirrored like that one. That was what he was saying. So many words. He didn't say that verbatim, but what he said is like all cases should be handled the way this case was handled. That's how proud he is of how this case was handled. Now, the crazy thing is that he can make that type of comment when there's so much controversy centered around how the case was handled. And he's sitting here talking about, hell, this case need to be damn studied by lawsuit. Everybody need to emulate it, and this is how you do it. That's the type of energy he's on. I feel like the case should definitely be studied in a way of this is how it's not to be done. Starting with, hey, jury selection. I'm hearing a lot of people saying just because the jury selection wasn't done right, that's grounds for a new trial. Just that alone. Hello. Just that alone, just with the jury selection. I've heard multiple like expert like attorneys. I think they said Mark Gragos. Y'all remember him? I hadn't seen him in a long time. Y'all remember the attorney Mark Gragos? I don't know whose case he was on that was prominent, but I'm sure it was a big case, which is why I know his name. But he was just like, this case warranted a new trial from the moment they selected a jury that did not consist of anyone black on it. He said right there, they effed up. So I've been saying since I've been covering this that I feel like it will be a new trial. It's just a matter of when, not if, but it's a matter of when. How long would it take? I initially felt like it was probably going to be probably closer to the 3-year time at least. I'm hearing people say anywhere from 18 to 24 months. I'm hoping I'm wrong and it's more so closer to that time. The sooner the better. But y'all, people are running. People are hiding. People are running. People are hiding. The truth is coming out. Um, the family, Karmelo Anthony's family, has spoken once or twice maybe, but not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Nowadays, I'm more so hearing from people who watch the videos. Just Say When said Chud will be freed from the county jail to the prison system. Oh yeah, Chud ass, he ain't good. Y'all, he just got bond revoked. Cause y'all know when he got caught up from shooting a black man, he was already out on bail for theft and raising hell at a restaurant. So his own people had him damn hemmed up and arrested because he was raising hell at the restaurant. So the judge them had let him out. I guess he probably was out maybe on the bond, so he was to keep his nose clean and not get caught up again. And he ended up getting caught up again. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. So he just went back to court this week. I saw it yesterday, so I don't know what day he went to the court, but the judge basically, yeah, his ass, he got to stay in there. He ain't going home. So yeah, Chud is definitely going from the jail to the prison. He going from the jail to the prison. Rightfully so. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Chud is an example of everything was caught on cameras in front of a federal building, in front of people, witnesses. So he's been dealt with the way he's been dealt with because blacks, whites, Mexicans, Spanish, Ethiopians, Asian, everybody witnessed it. So his situation wasn't one to where it was a small group of people who were witnesses and you can try to get to them and have them to change their story and say things went one way versus another like we saw in Karmelo Anthony's case. With Chud the Builders, his stupid ass, he did his basically in front of the world. So the white folks couldn't really protect him because it's like, you damn idiot. You did it in front of everybody. We can't protect you. You see what I'm saying? Because if it had been secretly and done maybe in a neighborhood, like I said, only fewer witnesses, he wouldn't be locked up the way he is now. He at least be released on a bail. He'd be out. But he's not out because the situation was too big, too grand to where they couldn't cover for him. They couldn't defend him. They couldn't protect him. And the same with that one from who is that other one who's locked up? The guy from J6. And he's locked up for saying if the jury don't convict Karmelo, then they gonna handle it themselves on the streets or something like that. So he's locked up the last I knew on $1 million bail, playing stupid games, winning stupid prizes. But again, the reason why he got locked up is because he was doing those threats on social media. He was out there outside of the courthouse with in front again federal building. He's not that one's probably not a federal building, but was it a federal? I don't know if you would consider that a federal building where they were at where the Carmelo Anthony case was taking place. I don't know, but basically he was outside in front of a courthouse in front of people with cameras making his threats, talking crazy. So again, he is somebody to where he did his stuff in a public way to where his people couldn't protect him because it's like every too many people seen it. See, you all, this is the only way where like people don't look like me, the only way they're dealt with harshly like somebody look like me is when there's no way they're able to protect them because too many people seen it. Y'all see what I'm saying? And so the people that look like them are like, you stupid mother, why are you moving like this? How are we supposed to protect you if you're doing it in front of everybody with all the cameras watching? So this is why the people pissed off at them, is because it's just like we can't protect you. We can't protect you because the way you're moving recklessly. You're not being discreet about it like we've been teaching you for years and years and years. That's how they get us with the system and stuff. It's like they do these things kind of in an indirect way, not that overt, like that obvious way. And these are two examples with Chud the Builder and this one guy. I forget his damn name. I can't even damn ever remember his damn name. I just know he was from the J6 and he got the jacked up haircut. He got like the Nazi haircut. These are two individuals who they 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 acted recklessly. They acted recklessly. They did their thing. They did what, you know how they say the quiet part out loud. They weren't moving in silence with what they did. They were loud with it. They were loud with it. They weren't on some sneak tip like most of them are, how they're taught to be. That's not how they moved. So they were reckless and everybody was able to see it. So it makes it harder, for them to protect you when it's on like a stage where everybody can see it, because you can't get to everybody to stronghold them into changing their narrative, their story, um, their testimony. Like you can't get to everybody when you're on TV doing something, or everybody got their phones out recording you. But a situation, let's just say like Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony, it was few people who witnessed it. So let's just say if you got 10 people, you can control that group of people by saying, hey, this is what I need for you to say and do. Here are the reasons why. If you don't do it, this is going to be what's happening. You see what I'm saying? So that control comes in. That control comes in. And that is what we've seen play out with this Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf case. The system got a hold to these people and told them, this is what you're going to say. This is the reason. This is what you're going to say. Because as I say, what's coming out by both blacks and whites who watch the case, they're saying that is not what happened at that track meet. Blacks and whites are both coming out giving their giving interviews. If you want to hear the interviews, and maybe on my next live I'll have my laptop, because I'm doing the walk and talk, so I can't show things, but I can show you. So for those of you who still are choosing to be delusional because it makes you sleep better at night, but it don't change the fact that it's a lie. But anyway, I can show you the interview where there was a white woman, a white tea woman, who said, I watched the video. Here is what I saw. And what I'm telling you is that what she saw, what she said, is not what was said during the trial. She saw an 11-minute version of the video, not a 2-minute version of the video. She saw what led up to the altercation. From the time the boys walked up on Austin to when the fight broke out, and from the time the boys walked up to Karmelo to when the fight broke out and Karmelo was able to finally break away from being jumped by 4 boys. She saw it. So it's not just me, people that look like me who's saying I saw it. There is someone who looked like you, male people, who also saw it as well. And she has the same she has the same story that they have. They saw the same video. There's nothing different. She has the same story. Yeah. So your people being caught lying, judge trying to get the hell out of Dodge. I hope everything starts moving faster than December 31st. So he's having to be dealt with while he's still in that position. That's what I hope. And that there are charges filed against the judge, the officers, the attorneys, anyone involved who lied. That is what I hope happens. So that's what my prayer is. My prayer is that the truth comes out for the situation with the 1-year-old who was unalived in the Walmart parking lot on Sunday, to the case with Karmelo Anthony and the stabbing that took place last year at the school track meet. The truth needs to come out. The truth needs to come out. And it needs to come out in quick, fast, and in a hurry. I believe that anybody, regardless of what color they are, what ethnicity they are, what cultural background they may come from, I believe that any and everyone deserves the truth when it comes to the law. I think that we are all owed that. And I think we all, if we're honest with ourselves, will want that to be the case. If any of us are ever caught up in a situation with anyone, especially the law, you are going to want the truth to come out when you know that the truth will set you free. You're going to want the truth to come out as it pertains to your loved one when you know that the truth will set them free. So if we take out color from it, just look at things from that perspective and we treat it that way, it's all centered around the truth. People who believe that the jury got it right, do you honestly in your heart believe that the truth was revealed during the trial? Do you honestly believe that these people who watch the 11-minute version of the video of the incident are not telling the truth? Everybody's not lying. And here's another thing I want to give you something to ponder on. If the situation happened the way that the prosecutor says that it happened, why didn't they show the full 11-minute version of the video that shows when the boys walked up and approached Karmelo Anthony while he was seated on the bleachers for 9 minutes by himself? See, this is what the 11-minute video shows. This is what the 11-minute video shows. I've listened to at least 4 or 5 people give their account of what the video showed that they watched. And not some of them, but all of them said the video, there's an 11-minute video and there's a 2-minute video. The 11-minute video includes footage of what took place prior to the encounter between Karmelo and Austin Metcalf. That is what the 11-minute video shows. That is the video that they all opted to watch, because they could have just watched the 2-minute video, but they all said, no, we want to see the 11-minute video. We want to see everything. We want, because context is important. I feel like the prosecution did not provide the context. The context was missing. And the only thing that makes sense to me as to why the context was missing is because the context didn't feed into the narrative that they were presenting. Because otherwise, what reason would you have to not show the 11-minute video? You're only going to do that if you feel like, oh, no, we can't show this. This is going to hurt our case. If we only show this part, we can kind of create this story as to, well, why this happened. Because they won't have the footage as to what took place prior to. So what they're going to know is what we tell them. What they're going to know is what we tell them. And we're going to tell them that it went this way. And you people who are going to testify are going to tell them the same thing. Y'all see what I'm saying? So YT people, how do you rationalize or justify people who watch the 11-minute video say that they saw Karmelo Anthony sitting by himself for at least 9 minutes before 4 boys approached him and then soon after start wailing on him? Explain that. Why wasn't that video shown? Oh, and these people who seen the video says that the video was crystal clear. So everybody, we've been hearing about this video in the courtroom being grainy, right? But they were like, no, this video was super clear. They said it was so clear you can see the raindrops that was coming down. Because y'all know it was a wet day. It was raining off and on. They said in the video, you can see the drops coming down. They said that video was so clear. So again, YT people who think that the jury got it right, explain that part to me. Why is it that there was a clear version of the video a year ago that people in the community were able to sign up and go watch? But though the video presented during the trial was a grainy video and only 2 minutes. Why use a 2 minute video when you have access to the full footage of what led up to the incident? See, y'all, we using common sense and critical thinking over here. Don't argue with me, argue with your mama. Now listen, damn Linda, listen. I'm telling y'all as to this some bullshit that's taking place. And here it is. What I have been saying is that you have some YT people out here speaking truth, using common sense and discernment and saying the same things. And guess what? How they've been getting treated by their own group of people with death threats. Everybody's getting at work. People that look like me and people that look like YT people are getting death threats because of their stance. When I heard the white woman tell her story, all I got to thinking about is what type of death threat she now finna get. Because her and her husband felt like it was important to put the truth out there. That woman said, listen, they asked that woman, the white woman, well, do you think it was necessary for him to use that weapon? She said, oh, he had to use whatever he needed to do to get home. She said that's how serious that situation was, to where he had no other choice but to just pull out all the stops to get out of the situation because he was getting beat on, jumped by 4 people. So let's talk about it, y'all. Who were the 4 people? Because I done told y'all the 11-minute video showed at least 6 people in it, but there were 2 who venture off. It looks like maybe to go be a distraction so nobody won't kind of come over there. I think they said I think those were like 2 possible black boys. But then there was, no, I take that back on the color of the boys who ventured off. The 4 that walked up on him was 2 white boys. 2 white boys, and then the other 2 appeared to be black boys. One of a fair skin and one of a darker complexion, but for sure 2 white boys. So that gives to me Austin Metcalf and Hunter Metcalf. Oster was being the one that was standing in front of him because they surrounded him. He never stood up. They walked up on him while he was literally sitting on the bleachers looking on his phone for 9 minutes prior to the fight taking place. This is what the 11-minute video shows. There are people out here on the internet, you can look it up, it's not hard to find, who are telling you what they saw. Go look into it. If you give a damn about the truth, you're not going to be afraid to go look into it. You're not going to want to look into it if you're in denial about the true situation as to what happened. And I know a lot of people can't handle the truth, but the truth will set you free, baby. The truth will set you free. And I always say, just because you don't say a thing is a thing, don't mean it ain't a thing. So even if you choose to not go listen to what Becky had to say about what she saw in that video and what Charles had to say about what he saw in that video, it don't negate the fact that these people spoke the truth about what's in that video. And here's another thing. I'm going to riddle you this right here. Or you can riddle me this. Why is it that now the video is no longer available for the public to go and watch it? Yes. So now, from what I've learned, this video that the public had access to be able to go see, it's no longer an option. My, 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 my. See, this is stuff that I be talking about. If there is nothing to hide, why can't the video continue to be viewed by the public? See, this information you all would have been out here about this video and what people saw had they not been on a gag order. They said when they went to the building to watch the video, they had to sign documentation saying that they were not going to go and talk about the video. Now, I don't know what kind of program, what this is as far as with how you're able to watch. You can Google it, y'all. So this was in the state of Texas. So I don't know if all states have this ability, or this is something Texas offered, but look into it and see what is it when you're able, as a person in the community, able to go and watch video footage of something that has happened within the community. Look into that, because these people went and they all told the same story as to how they were able to go up there. They said you can't bring your phone in there, no electronics, because they don't want anyone recording the footage. So you have to sign off on a document in NDA. You can't talk about what you've seen right now while while they were under gag order, I guess, because of the trial at the time that was approaching. So I guess the investigation, everything was still taking place. So they had to sign their John Henry, saying, hey, I'm not going to go talking about it. And they could not take their phones in there. They had to leave their phones at the front desk or in the car, but you can't take your phone in the room to watch the video. And the video is shown on a TV. But here's the trickery. This is that trickery they try to get. Y'all like the video. This is the trickery. So they said like the TV was maybe about a 45-inch TV. Instead of them allowing for the video to be shown on the full TV screen, they only allowed for the video to be shown in maybe like a very small section of the TV. The guy who was telling his story said it was like the section was maybe like the equivalent of the size of a phone screen. But even though it was small, you were still able to make out what was taking place in the video. You were able to make out what was taking place in the video, even though they purposefully didn't allow for the image to be shown on the full screen. Everyone has the same version of what they saw on that 11-minute video. So these are the things, the information, the details of the things that's going to be coming out for a retrial. And I just hope that the retrial and everything takes place prior to the retirement of Judge Roach. She don't even know. This girl over here doing a TikTok video and a dog that ran up on me. See, y'all, I used to be afraid of dogs. The old me would have damn already been at my house and took the hell off running. Yeah. The old me, y'all, would have ran like hell. She doing her damn TikTok. I'm doing my damn YouTube. So anyway, I hope that I hope everything comes out. I hope everything comes out before the judge get ghost. And I hope that he's stripped of everything that I hope he's stripped of everything just like this Anthony family has. How about that? Everything that the Anthony family has lost, I hope that those who were a part of this case, they lose that and then some. Because as I say, the Lord knows all and sees all. Karma is real. Karma is real. It's a lot of moving parts with this case. It's a lot coming out. And there's a lot of attorneys saying that this case right here, it was not handled right from start to finish. It was not handled right from start to finish. And we, the people, we know that. And even the ones who are out here laughing and kikiing and talking about watermelon filling and wearing the shirts and all of that, whether they, people that look like me or white tea people, people know the truth. People know the truth, but people are okay with deflecting because that's how real and strong the hate is today. To where people would rather sit in hate and anger than love and peace because they have this strong disdain for black people. So truth don't even matter. It's just, oh, well, because it impacted your group of people and not ours, then we don't really care like that. Like our lives, and I'm talking about this on Juneteenth. Who's in here celebrating Juneteenth? What is there really to celebrate? What have we really overcome? It's just different types of ways that slavery and oppression show up. It's still around. It just looks different. It looks different. Slavery is now, it shows up in our legal systems, in the prisons. Um, have you all ever heard about how they determine have you ever, they call it the prison pipeline from elementary school to prison? How they look at like the reading levels of the third grader, um, and that's how they determine their future and the likelihood that that child will end up in the prison system based off of their reading level. Y'all get into that. Look into that. Look into that. It's almost like recruiting coming out of the schools. And look, that's exactly what happened with Karmelo Anthony. He went straight from the schoolhouse to the prison. He's not the first. And unfortunately, he will not be the only one that takes place with. But again, happy Juneteenth. This that stuff I be talking about. This right here. But they think, well, y'all should still be happy. I mean, at least y'all don't have to be on the, you can move around and, walk, like as though it's a privilege for us to walk along the side of white tea people and be in the communities with them. But really, as quiet as it kept, when we were separated, during segregation, Black people were actually were far better off financially, and in our communities and our families. We were actually better off when we were segregated because we just had ourselves, our own group of people to work with and to deal with. We didn't have to deal with other groups of people telling us when, where, how, why, all of that. The decisions and things were made within our communities. No. But once they integrated us, then that stopped. And the reason why they integrated us is because they seen how we were winning when we were separate, and we were on pace to outgrow them in all types of areas. Our kids were thriving in the classrooms. Our businesses were thriving. Um, you guys can research what is at the Tulsa, Oklahoma. Have you all been to the Black African American Museum in DC? I definitely encourage you to check it out. I went last year with my family during spring break. I vlogged from there, so you can check out that video that I did with Boots on Ground in DC. So that was a year ago, April 2025. But we were doing it, y'all. No matter what they say about us, how they think we may need, whatever. There is a history of Black people being successful without needing the support of white people. We've done it. We've done it. That's why it's such a big deal when Black people talk about delineating, separating, and going our own way again, is because they know that without the Black person's buying power, without their money, um, all that we bring to the table, it's not going to be the same. The business is not going to thrive. There's a big issue right now, with the Asian community, ever since the Rick Chow case, when he got off on unaliving the 14-year-old. So here's the thing. Let me give y'all some context behind that, because some of you all may be wondering, like, or maybe new to you all. Black people, Black American people, FBA people, which stands for Foundational Black American, if you've ever heard of that term before, we are choosing to no longer support Asian businesses. Now, the reason why that is that following the Rick Chow case, the verdict, I think the verdict took place maybe on June 1st. Following that, there was a couple of Asians that came out talking greasy, like on some, well, I don't care, Blacks, if you're mad or whatever. It is what it is. We don't need you anyway. We don't need your businesses to thrive, whatever. So Black people got on some, I can show you better than I can tell you type shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I just told y'all how we ain't new to this, we true to this. We used to have our own everything before. But then the whole integration came about. So we started getting integrated into white society, and it slowed down our progress as a collective Black community. Y'all see what I'm saying? So Black people are like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. We hear you. All right, fine. So black people have not been regularly frequenting Chinese restaurants, nail salons, and beauty salons. Right now, off the top of my head, those are the three primary industries that people like me frequent heavy. I know I normally did. My nail tech for over 10 years, Asian. I've gone to various beauty supplies, but the one I primarily go to is Asian. I rarely buy anything in like Sally's. That's like, I don't know, who shops in Sally's? White people shop in Sally's. I've never seen a white person in an Asian beauty supply shopping, I will say that. So, also, Chinese restaurants. We frequent those businesses. Well, as of the last 2 weeks, it's been crickets in their establishments. I've learned, I think today I learned that there's one near my hometown from California that actually had to close its doors. I think it was a Chinese restaurant in Antioch, California. They had to close their doors because they, it shut down itself. No one was coming to patron the business. So they end up having to close the business. So I told y'all today's Juneteenth. Prior to today, some of the Asian beauty supplies were advertising 75% off of their goods as a way to entice black people to come back to do business with them. Several people from the Asian community have gotten on social media and tried their best to make it clear that they do not have the same views as the man and the woman who had gotten on the internet following the Rick Child verdict, talking greasy about black people and calling themselves trying to speak down on us and say negative, disparaging things about black people. So black people heard them loud and clear. And we said, okay, we got you. We just not gonna do business with you. So as a result of that, there has been Asians who have gotten pissed off because we ain't done nothing to them other than just stop effing with them going into their businesses. So what they've done is that there's even some of them who have set fires and filed claims against their businesses for like damages, fire, things like that, as a way of getting collecting money from insurance claims. We ain't done that. I repeat, black people have not went and terrorized anybody's business or establishment. We have not. So you insurance providers, it will behoove y'all to do your research because people within the Asian community are damaging their own property as a way of collect on the claim because they see that their business is over. So they're trying to find a way to recoup some money. I told y'all one restaurant in California near my hometown where I'm from, they had to shut their doors because they went out of business in 2 weeks. So fast forward to today. They know us black people, they know we love some free stuff. They're now banding together, the Asian businesses, they're banding together, and in particular the beauty supply industry. They're saying, hey, we're all going to offer 75% discounts, even offer some things for free as a way to bring in business. This is what they're doing today on Juneteenth. Don't fall for it. That is what's happening. Right now, it's been said that the way that we are standing together, a large number of Asian businesses will be out of business in 30 days. They cannot afford to sustain their businesses without the continual business coming in daily. Think about it. That's just going to be any business. You rely on that. You got to pay your workers. You got still bills. You got to pay the space that you operate. Not like it costs money to operate a business, right? So you have to make money. It costs money. You got to have money to run a business. And right now they are not receiving money. There's no longer money coming in to continue the operation of these Asian businesses. So they are pissed off. They are on edge. So you might start to see, or you might see some of these videos out here and you're wondering like, what the hell is going on? So that is what's going on. They are pissed off that black people have said, listen, For years, we've been told we need to do more business within our communities. I can remember that, many of you have heard that for years, and we'll have all these reasons as to why we don't do business with our own. But it's a new day today. For what I've learned, that there are so many black businesses right now who are booming, who are getting so much business right now because black people are now saying, you know what, we're going to do what all these other cultural groups been doing. We're going to start doing business with one another. How many of y'all live in a city or nearby a city where you see that they have evident Asian communities, where their banks, and you can tell because you can see the way the signs are written. It's in the letters, the Asian language. I don't know. I can't think of anywhere where I've traveled to where nearby there wasn't an Asian community where you just see they got churches, they'll have their schools, they'll have their grocery stores, they'll have their banks. They have all the things. And I'm not mad at them. But don't be mad at us now that we're on this tip of, hey, we're going to do the same thing again because we've done it. But when we've done it, guess what happens? The white T-man comes in and F it up and blow it up, and it goes away. Get into the history of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Get into the history of Tulsa, Oklahoma. We had all the things. They came in and they set it afire. They tore it all up. Black people are now at a point to where we're willing to build again. We're willing to stand for something. We're willing to stand for something because we feel like we're in this time where we don't have anything to lose. They don't like us anyway. They show us every day. We've seen multiple cases where someone who doesn't have a weapon still loses their life, and the person gets off. Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman case. And then you have the case where someone does have a weapon, uses it in self-defense, and they get sent up the river. Karmelo Anthony versus Texas, Karmelo Anthony, and the Austin Metcalf case. So what do? So black people are like, you know what? The message is loud and clear. It's been loud, but we have not band together the way we should have. We should have done this a long time ago. Even it came out with Rick Childs, the man, the Asian guy who unalived the 14-year-old boy in South Carolina. It came out that on a couple of occasions prior to the day where he unalived the 14-year-old, he had been seen chasing after people in the community with a weapon, with a pew pew. But my people were still choosing to do business there. Why? How do you justify that? If you're seeing someone demonstrate poor behavior to the people in your community, racist behavior to the people in your community, how do you justify continuing to support the establishment? So that's on us, because many people, like including me, believe that had our people stood on business then, that young man wouldn't have lost his life, because he was the third time that this father had pulled out a pew pew on someone in the community. And unfortunately, he lost his life. But the fact that there were at least 2 other times where he pulled out a weapon and people still continue to go frequent that business, that convenience store, as though it was the only one in South Carolina, that makes no sense. That's on us for allowing for that business to still be open, because I done told y'all what's happening with the Asian businesses. It has only been 2 weeks, and those businesses are on the verge of shutting down. Y'all, I don't even know what my nail salon is looking like, because right before all of this started, I had just gotten my nails done. So when I learned about this whole boycott and things like that, I'm like, okay, I got about 3 weeks to try to secure me another nail tech. Let me research black nail techs in my community. So I found a few. I just have to start having conversations with them to decide on which one I will be going to in about 2 weeks. I probably got about 2 more weeks. But this is where we are. And they're upset. I seen a video where For whatever reason, a black woman, and they say she a content creator who was off code, still decided to go into an Asian nail salon. They kicked her out, and she was pissed off and in her feelings. They called the police. They even had locked her in the store, claiming that she was trying to leave without paying. So again, we've been talking about the treatment that's been taking place with our people. So how are you justifying still doing business in those establishments? So what they're saying, listen up, people. If you are somebody who still continues to do business with an Asian establishment and you are mistreated in any type of way, the black community is not going to come around and rally behind you in support of whatever you got going on. We're not doing it because there is no reason why you should have been there to begin with when you are aware of what's taking place. The police came. She was upset because she felt like they were siding with the Asian family. I mean, the Asian workers, the store owner or whatever. They wanted her to pay $40 for a service that she didn't fully get. And the police officer was like, well, either you pay them the money. I'm not going to arrest you, but I'll write a report out for them. And it's under theft. What do you call it? Theft by theft by no service or theft by service. Something about theft through service. So he said that if she did not pay the Asian people at the nail salon the $40, he would write up that document for them. So therefore, if they choose to take it further, which they likely would have, they would have had pretty much the sign off of the police officer who arrived on the scene to support their claim that this woman did not pay them. So the woman's husband, he was like, F this, let me just go on and pay these. So he went and expeditiously paid that $40 because he was like, listen, it ain't even that serious. But again, this took place like probably like this week, like since the protest. So again, like, sis, why were you in there? What, you thought the people was lying on the internet? That's that stuff I be talking about. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. When people show you who they are, you need to believe them. And if you choose to not believe them, guess what? That's on you. That is on you. So that's where we are today. Black people have moved away from doing business with the Asian establishments. There you may see some black people going inside of these Asian establishments, but just know and understand that there is a movement taking place. So whatever it is that you are seeing, it's less than what the norm clientele is by these Asian communities. It's less. I haven't even gone to I told the story like what was this? Was this last week? I think it was last week. I didn't know what I was going to have for lunch, and I was walking, and the options was a Chinese restaurant, it was Subway, it was Willie's, like a burrito place. I didn't know what I wanted. I was talking on the phone, and I was like, "Oh, I'm just going to have a seat somewhere and just finish my conversation." Y'all, I looked at the Asian restaurant, the one I normally go to near my job, and it was the two workers, and they were just looking out the window. And it was a reminder to me in that moment because I kind of had forgotten about the whole thing, with the whole movement thing. But that reminded me because they were looking out the window. It was giving, where is everybody at? Because nobody was really coming in there like that. And like I said, that's a place I normally frequent. And one of the ladies that was looking out the window, she's really nice. She serves me a lot and she's always kind of moving around on roller skates, just trying to hit all the tables. So to me, they're looking out the window, looking to, for the people to be coming. Like, it's like, shit, where's everybody? Like they was nervous. Like that's the look to me like that I saw. So I just went straight and just went into the subway, but I just made a note to self, like, wow, like I feel like they're really looking like they're nervous. They're nervous. So you all in your communities, take a look, Asian restaurants, Asian businesses that you're used to seeing. Pay attention to what that clientele looks like. You may know kind of what it normally look like. See if it's giving the same type of energy that it used to. And then for some of you who are like big and bold and bad and want to walk into one,
Pay attention to see what type of treatment you get when you walk up in there. Because in my mind, I'm thinking they're going to be down there ready to roll out the red carpet for you. Because if you look like me, it's going to be like, oh, shit, we got one. We got one. They're going to be ready to roll out the red carpet. Miles around. Them people going to be so happy to see you. They gonna be so happy to see you. They finna greet you with the little baskets up there. They probably finna give you some free lip gloss and some lashes. They finna start giving you all kinds of samples. They finna ask you what hair color you looking for, how many inches. They finna show you. Listen, they ain't got nothing but time because hell, it's probably just gonna be you up in there. So you finna get that one-on-one service. And I'm just saying, just in case if you just want to see what the energy is like going in there, because people that look like me who frequent Asians businesses more so than any other group, especially the beauty supply. Because I ain't never seen no white woman or white man in an Asian beauty supply. I ain't never seen no Hispanic man or woman in an Asian beauty supply. I've never seen anyone other than Black American or African going through the Asian beauty supply. I feel like that man who got on the internet playing around effed it up for them and he ain't even got nothing to lose. Y'all know how them be the ones who be talking cash money ish and ain't got ish to lose. But the people who got shit to lose, like if you don't shut your like to me, that's what it's giving. That is what it's giving. Shane got out there and started running his damn mouth, then went in hiding. Chang and Lang, they done got out there, ran their mouth, then went in hiding because word on the curb is that they both deactivated their social media after they got it on and popping. But then I heard that Chang, the one that got it popping, circle back around talking about y'all stay vigilant. Y'all got this, y'all got this, and then I just jump back out and go to hiding. It's like a setup. He just set his whole people up. You even got the Asians trying to delineate from themselves. They taking a number out the black people book who delineating from the Africans. They like, listen, yes, we're Asian, but you got Cambodia, you got China, you got Japan, you got the Philippines, you got Taiwan. Like they're like, yes, we're Asian, but we come from different countries, kind of like with black. We're not all the same. I tell you all. I'm FBA, Foundational Black American. I don't come from Africa. I don't come from Africa. So I'm not African American. I'm Black American. My ancestors, my people going back at least 5 years, they come from here. We are the original people. So I'm not as Africans, so we're different. Just like you'll have people in the Hispanic culture, they're different. Mexicans, Colombians, Venezuelans. You see what I'm saying? Like you got people like they come from different countries. So that's the same thing. So you have a lot of the Asians who are coming out saying, listen, that guy who was talking smack, he's not us. I'm this. He's that. You see, so everybody's on this don't lump me in because people are out here acting real ignorant, and people who are acting ignorant, other people who are moving with like they got some sense, are not trying to be aligned with them, rightfully so. Just say when said Chinese people business come from black folk, not white folks. They depend on a black dollar. Yes, I'm telling y'all, white people, y'all don't even go in these beauty supplies, so you don't know. Because I told you I ain't never seen y'all in there. Y'all go into Sally's. See, Sally's is the white tea beauty supply, and a lot of like the professionals, like the license holder, cosmetologists, they go shop in the Sally's where they're buying the hair color and the shears, the nail polish. But black people, we don't shop in Sally's like that. We mostly go into the Asian beauty supplies. We go into the Asian beauty supplies because it's a far more options, and the products are cheaper. We have more options. There's more purchasing options when it comes to just everything. It's just more options and things are cheaper. So that's why we go into the Asian beauty supplies. Also, they're more accessible. There's more Asian beauty supplies than there are Sally's beauty supplies. So out of convenience and cost and options, those are the three reasons why we normally historically have opted to do business with the Asians. But even with that being said, there are a large number of Asians who have still been disrespectful to black people that frequent their business. It's almost like it's on some entitlement stuff. Like they're so used to just us doing business with them, regardless, to where it hasn't forced them to do better when it comes to like the customer service. I only have one story of where I felt like I didn't get the best level of service with an Asian. That was one time I went in a beauty supply and they were following me. And then I decided to not buy anything. And as I'm walking out the door, the lady proceeds to question me about the item that she had once seen me have in my hand. And I was like, I don't have this item anymore. I put it back. I never went back to that beauty supply. And that was like years ago. That was my one story. So overall, I personally haven't had a bad situation with Asian establishment, but I know there are a lot of people who have. And because I'm black and I'm willing to stand on code, if my people are saying, yo, we're moving around and we're moving away from them because they're not giving us the respect that we deserve, then I'm standing with them. Y'all see how this go? There are other beauty supplies that I have taken notice in the community that are run by non-Asians, like black people. I've seen them. I've gone into them a time or two. It just hasn't been the regular establishments I've gone into, primarily just because it's not a lot of options. The options. Remember, I tell you, it's the options. It's not as many options that I've seen in the black beauty supplies within my area, my community. But that may very well change. That may very well change, especially as people start to frequent those establishments more. Those owners can uh, get more products, because they'll make more money. They can get more products and put on the shelves, things like that. So that's where we come in, and that's why I say recently I've heard that more black people have been doing business with other businesses, which is awesome because that's the way it should be. And I believe that these negative situations that have happened um, within the black community, it has resulted. The positive that has come out of these situations is black people banding together, coming together, supporting one another in ways that we had not done so in a very long time. Today is the day when we're like, listen, F that. We tired, child. We tired. We are tired. We are tired. It's a new day. It's a new day. Flatbread said the products in the black owner stores come from China. Probably so. I can believe that. Hell, most of the stuff here, I learned this because I was covering politics last year. Most of the stuff here in the US come from China. But here's the thing, those Chinese people may be getting the money, but at least that the money that they're getting is going back to China. Is not these people who are here on US soil doing us bad, living off of all the things that black people basically put together that allowed for them to come here. So at this point, it's going to be about, okay, which Asians are we supporting? Are we supporting the ones that are here that are benefiting from the things that black people have put together that allow for other groups of people to come here? Or are we supporting people like China, Asians, or whatever who are not here and who are still at home? So in this situation, that's basically what it's going to come down to, because the U.S. is just built on imports. I learned that last year when I was covering politics. The bulk of our goods is coming from somewhere else. That's why the tariff situation was such a big thing, because it's just like I learned that here in the U.S., we do not make a lot of stuff. We don't make a lot of things here. We moved away from that a long time ago. Most of the things that we have is imported, and it's going to take some time to move away. That's what Trump had been trying to work on, from what he was saying, with trying to move away from us having so much of our goods and things imported and having more American made goods. But given that we're still in the times where we're still dependent upon goods that are imported, it's just going to come down to um, who's the face of these businesses you're going inside of. So if the face is an Asian, then listen, it is what it is. Flatbread said the tariff situation is a wake up call. It damn sure was a wake up call for me. I didn't realize that so many of our goods were imported until then. I learned a lot last year as I covered politics on this channel. It's just like, wow, like the day we stopped getting goods imported, like we would be down bad, y'all. Like that's how dependent, even down to even some foods and things, like that's how dependent we are on imports coming from other places. You'd be surprised. I can't even just go into just a list of all the things that, because at that time I was like running it down, like, y'all, did y'all know this was imported? This, and this. Look it up, you all. There's so much that gets imported here that we benefit. So many things, goods that we benefit from today that is imported from other places. It's crazy. It is crazy. So black people, if we are using something that's from China, is the money going into the bank account of somebody over in China versus going through somebody cash register here in the USA. For now, that's just going to be what it is for now. For now. So we'll see how many more businesses have to fold because of foolishness. Just FBA, we are the generation to make the change. We sure are. Just Say When says we are not going into any of their businesses in our communities. You can't be getting our black dollars and killing us too. Right. You can't. You got to teach people how to treat you. That's the thing. You got to teach people how to treat you. And that's now what black people are doing. And because we're doing that, we're now looked at as the bad guy, holding businesses hostages and stuff. And it's just like, well, why is it that all these other groups of people who have been forever, for years, doing business with their own, why was it okay and viewed as empowerment and they're doing what they should do? But then when black people start to go back to doing that, because we used to do it. I told y'all what happened with the history with, in Oklahoma. We used to do that, but the YT people came in and blew it all up, set it afire. So everything just went down. Everything was burned down. So now that we want to get back to building our own, doing business with our own, now we're looked at as the bad guy. It's almost like, yeah, we can do it, but you can't. Oh, okay. Well, you keep believing that because we can show you better than we can tell you. You keep believing that. And that's what we're doing. You're seeing black people stand on business and people are pissed off, and we don't give a damn. We don't give a damn. I know I don't. But I know most of us we don't care. We don't care. We finally have gotten to the point to where we don't care because we've been caring and giving a damn far too long. We don't care. I don't even care when it comes to this election stuff, how they vote or whatever, because it ain't nobody for me and my people. I don't care. I finally accepted the reality that no one has people that look like me, no side, black or nobody. Nobody has, we have no allies. We have no allies. All these other cultural groups, if they're not black, they identify as white. Please believe that. Including Hispanic. Y'all, I got into a conversation with so y'all know me, content creation, and I be a part of groups and things like that centered around content creation. So it was a new group I had joined, and it was a guy who wanted to talk with me. And so I let him have my phone number so he can talk with me and learn about content creation. And as I was talking to him, I really couldn't necessarily make out what his race probably was. But when he told me he was Hispanic, he was Mexican in particular, I just would have never thought. So I'm listening to him, and he's telling me how he's second generation Hispanic. His parents were first generation, and how his parents intentionally did not teach him and his siblings Spanish. He said his parents did not want them to learn Spanish. They wanted them to use English only and not have an accent. As he was telling his story, it had me to think about how I heard so many people talk about how Hispanic people, Mexicans identify as, or Hispanics identify as white. It made so much sense, y'all. This guy told me his parents purposely did not teach him and his siblings Spanish because they did not want them to be nobody, to just even try to treat them differently or anything like that, or their kids to have the experience they had, where as they're moving about and they have an accent, or they're not maybe understanding clearly, and people, he said, would start to, sometimes, like, you'll see people when they're trying to communicate with someone who don't speak their language, they'll raise their tone like as though that's gonna help. So his parents went through that, where because they couldn't understand maybe what his parents were saying, because they were then first generation, they still had like the accent and thing, the people would talk loud as though that was gonna make a difference. So his parents just didn't even want that type of experience for their kids. So he said their way of handling that was to not teach them Spanish, and to make sure that they did not speak with an accent. And y'all, this man had no accent. He said he was 55 years old. He was IT. He spoke very proper, no accent at all. If anything, I thought he was a proper speaking black man because the group I'm a part of, everyone I'd seen on camera were all black. But it's not just for black people, but everyone who I'd seen was black. I assumed he was just a very proper speaking black guy. You have those. You have those. I used to speak super proper. I'm from California. When I first moved to Georgia in 96 in high school, I spoke very, very, very proper. So people, the kids, like just thought I was kind of different. They just thought I was a freak show because of how I spoke. So he spoke very different. But when he told me he was Mexican, I was like, oh, hell, like I was shooken. So it made me think about how Mexicans, whites, how they do identify as white. They also have a good friend who lives in Los Angeles. He used to work for the city of Los Angeles, and most of the workers and things were of Hispanic. And he told me, he said that they would look down on him and they didn't want to cooperate with him because he was a black man. And he was like, "Sheik, they think in their head like they're white." He was like, they act, they think that they're white. And my friend isn't into, he ain't woke all like this and into politics to know the ins and outs. So as he's telling me this, I'm just thinking about all the things that I've come to know for the, since I've been covering politics heavy starting from early 2025. And as he's talking and he's telling me about the treatment, how they would tell him like they didn't want it, like he was in property management. They didn't want to give him release any money to him for bills and things like that or rent because they were like, I'm not giving no black man no money. Like he was like, Sheik, they really think they're white. Like so when he was saying it, it was kind of mind-boggling for him. But because I cover politics, it aligned with what I was already seeing and hearing. And I had to have the conversation with my daughter last night. My daughter's best friend is white. She's 16. And so I was explaining to her how, as they go into adult life after they graduate high school, because right now they may not experience a lot of things centered around racism because of our environment or where we live. But I assured her that that day will come and it will likely be once she goes off to college and she will start to see the difference. And then her response to me was, "Oh, well, my friend isn't white. She's such and such. I can't even remember what she said her friend was." But what I had to explain to her is that, oh baby, that may be her lineage and all of that, but to America, she's a white woman. She and then her friend has actually pale white skin at that. I can't even remember what she said her friend ethnicity was. But when you look at her and someone says, "Oh, what color was that woman?" You're going to say she's white, or right now she's a young girl. Her friend is 16. You're going to say, "Oh, she's a white girl." You're not getting all into, "Oh, well, she's from Russia. She's from France. She's from," like in America, you're black or you're white. You're identifying as white. People who are not black check off white on the box. They're treated as though they're white. So I had to explain that to her. So the day she starts moving about in these US streets, she will then, when she see things kind of looking a little funny, she won't question things and make it seem like it's about her or that she done something wrong. Because my daughter is super, super smart. Her friend is smart, but not like my daughter. Like my daughter is like she's right now top 15% in her class. Her friend is nowhere near that, but she's a smart girl. So what I told her is like, baby girl, don't be surprised if as you go into college and you go into these rooms where it's going to be a big chance that you may be a minority because she desires, she wants to become, aspires to become either this is my daughter, she wants to become an astrophysicist or a body examiner. Those are the two fields she aspires to be in. So right now, she's really leaning. She loves the sciences and all. She's super smart. So I told her, do not be surprised if as you're navigating through life and you're in certain rooms and you know more than some of the other people, you're treated as though you don't. Because that day is going to come where you're going to see that they're not treating you in a way you feel like they should, given that you're the top performer. Because I already know wherever she goes in life, she is going to be a top high performer. But she's black. She's fair skinned. She don't have my skin tone, but she's visible. She's black. She's black. I told her to not be surprised if she comes to learn after the fact about certain opportunities, events, functions that may have taken place, and she didn't even know that it was even happening, to even maybe be extended an opportunity to even participate. I had to let her know these things because even though y'all see, this is my neighborhood. This is my neighborhood. I live in a neighborhood that's it's a good number of people that look like me in my neighborhood. Everybody that look like me aren't on the struggle train. Everybody that look like me ain't on food stamps and Section 8. We work hard for our things. We work hard to be able to provide our children the things that they have in life, like Karmelo Anthony's family did. What I did like recently is that a friend of the Anthony family reposted the pictures of the mother standing outside of their beautiful home, a neighborhood that's very comparable to mine, and a really nice vehicle. That picture was taken in 2023, 2 years prior to incident, 2 years prior to a GoFundMe being set up. The post read, I am very great. I feel gratitude for this beautiful gift from my husband, him gifting me this beautiful new vehicle. That was in 2023. So listen in, boys and girls. Black people have the ability to get some shit. We got the ability to get some shit done. I am not the only one. I am not an anomaly. Doing then not. Exhibit A. Exhibit A. So I'm telling you about the conversation I'm having with my daughter is because of the lifestyle that she's provided in the community that she's been raised up in. She ain't having to deal with no bullish. But I know that's not going to always be the case. That's why I have these conversations with her so she will know that just because you may show up in a room knowing more than goddamn likely everybody else, don't mean that you're going to be treated accordingly. Don't mean that you're not going to be treated as though you don't know jack shit. That's what I had to tell her. And there are so many people who are jealous and envious of the strength that our people have, the wisdom, the resources, the ability, the strength, all the things, all the things. We are them people. That's why people come at us the way that they do, because it's rooted in hate, jealousy, and envy. How do you hate and be jealous of the most oppressed people of the land? Make that make sense. Okay, you say you don't like me. Okay, you say you don't like me, but why do you put so much energy into what me and my people got going on? If you don't like me, why are you so pissed off if me and my people said, fine, we're going to stay over here, we're not going to go over there where you're at? What the fuck? What do you, in my words, so who is that? Tyrese. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? What the fuck do you want? Because you get stuff when we say, fuck it, we gonna stay over here. Well, why y'all gotta stay over here there? But then when we come over here, you want to do us dirty, treat us bad. So what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? It's giving that you want all the things that come with the black person, except for the experiences. But guess what? It don't work that way. It don't work that way. This is not build a life, build a black life, where it's just like, I want all the energy. I want to harvest all the energy of the black people, but I don't want the oppression of the black person. I don't want the treatment when it comes to law of the black person. I don't want that. I don't want to be followed around in the store like the black person. No, no, I don't want that either. I don't want, like, but what the fuck? Like what? But yeah, I love to have that swag, that energy. I love to be able to put on an event and thousands of people come out and show up and show out. Kai Sanat. Kai. Y'all see what I'm saying? It's like I want all of the things that come with you that you give, but I don't want no 35-year sentence. But I do want that. I do want that flavor that you come with. I do want that. Yeah, yeah. I want that part. I want that part. Can I have that part for 500, Alex? And that's what it gives. And it's just like, This is our life. We can't cherry pick and say we want this, that, and that. Y'all think that if we could pick and choose, we would choose to want to have these experiences that we have when it comes to the law and the court cases, how we're treated with just walking into an establishment? Y'all think we want those things? Hell no, we don't want those things. But we know that this is just what comes with being with the Black experience. So we don't dwell on it. We lean into all these, we lean into all these other things. We lean into these all other things. And I use Hai Sanat as an example is because he is another person of color, a Black person. He's a Black person. Black people, whether they come from Africa, the West Indies, they're foundational Black American, white tea people, other groups of people still want what it is that we got. We still got that thing because we're rooted, we're still Black, we still are the original people, we're still heavily melanated people. Black don't crack. They still wonder, bitch, what do you mean you're 45? What do you mean you're 45? What do you mean you got a 21-year-old son? What do you mean your son just graduated high school? What do you mean you wear a size 4? Bitch, what do you mean? What do you mean? This that shit I be talking about. This is that shit I be talking about. So I can give you some shit to hate on. So I get it. I'm just saying with other people, like, I get it. Like, shit, a bitch is bad. I get it. I get it. I get it. But don't mean that you need to be coming over here harming my people and hating on my people. Don't mean that. Don't mean that you can be damn shitting on my people because you hating. Come over here. Hey, we don't gatekeep over here. We don't gatekeep over here. We don't gatekeep over here. We can teach you. We can tell you the things. Just say so. Just say you want to know the secret. Just say you want to know, okay, bitch, how are you doing that? I can talk to you. But don't hate, don't hate on me because we as people, the hardest working people of the land, that people say, oh, we lazy. Oh, this ain't what laziness look like. This, this is not what laziness look like. This isn't lazy. This is the complete polar opposite of lazy. This is what getting to it looks like. This is what getting to it looks like. We gets to it. And people know that. They know that. They was jealous and hateful and envy of Carmelo Anthony for what he was able to do. He lived in a beautiful community. Let y'all get to dropping off flies when I start showing y'all the fact because y'all want to think everybody down bad. This ain't the platform for you if that's the narrative you want to believe. Because anytime you hit the button to hear what the hell Sheik got to go, you're gonna get the truth. And the truth is, ain't no fucking Section 8 queen over here. Ain't no fat bitch sitting on the couch talking yin yang over here. That's not what you getting over here. You getting a real deal Holyfield over here. And people don't like that because when I start talking in truth and talking about what I stand for, oh, people get quiet. They start dropping off like flies because they want to see you down bad because the people who are watching and who are being hateful are down bad. Why are you down bad? How is your energy? How is your energy? You giving off negative energy and negative disposition. Like I said, Black people don't gatekeep. I'm gonna tell you how Black people don't gatekeep. We was on the internet what, a year or two ago telling white tea people, white tea women how to wash their ass and wash their twat. Did y'all see that shit viral on TikTok? The white girlies talking about, oh shit, I watched it from the rooter to the damn tutor. I know you need to be washing all down there. My man couldn't keep his hands off of me. He like this. Oh, what is that for? Soap? I told y'all we don't gatekeep. They like shit. I thought that when we use the soap, not a rag. Oh, y'all using rags? Y'all using towels? Oh shit, we thought when you just use the soap, the soap that run down the bottom of your leg, that's how you clean your leg. Oh bitch, y'all over there, Black people cleaning feet and toes? Say it ain't so. I told y'all we don't goddamn gatekeep. So we done told a whole bunch of white tea women how to wash their ass. It's out there. It's out there. It's a whole bunch compilation of the go out there. We done showed them how to wash their ass and use seasoning in their food. There's other ones with them tasting seasoned food for the first damn time. On some, where have you been all my life, fried chicken and collard greens? That's what I'm saying. We don't gatekeep. We will show you. We will show you. Just say you want to know. But don't go out here, trying to act like we don't know what the fuck we doing. But meanwhile, you out here funky, smelling like fish, talking about I only take baths on Tuesdays. You know that, John. Don't lie. The girl went to the gym, boyfriend like, yo, you gonna run the show? She was like, nah, I ain't messing up my pH. I take baths on Tuesday. Today is Wednesday. So, player, you got a whole nother 6 days to. He said, oh, so you just gonna be damn smelling like fish? Y'all, I'm not making this shit up. This is the white tea people putting that shit out there. It's out there. So what I'm saying is that we don't gatekeep. I don't gatekeep. Like this fucking video, follow. You will see how the hell I can have the shit I have. This is a hardworking black woman you're listening to and you're watching. And I'm not the only one. I come from a lineage who move, who show up with the same strength. We know who the fuck we are. We're hard working black women. Period. That's all I know. Degreed up. Don't even get that. Don't ask how many damn degrees I got. Let me just say I got more degrees than really what I really even need. I'm degreed up over here. So it's the reason why I live the life that I have. I work hard for my shit. I work hard to create a good lifestyle for my children. My children to be able to go to great schools, get great education, have a great quality of life. But you know what I'm not doing? I'm not choosing to not tell them about the black experience in the world. That baby, even though we live here, let me tell you what it's like out there. Let me tell you what it's like out there. Y'all looking at a woman who's been married 22 years come October. 22. That's a 2-2, not two. 22 years, just married. Been with my husband for 2, 3, 4, for 26. 4 years together, 22 years married. 3 beautiful kids created within the marriage. So don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Yes, this it. No, sir. Listen, natural. Listen, Linda. Listen. I'll show you some shit. I'll show you how to get to it. I can show you how to get to it. But I'm just saying, I'm not. And there's other people who have similar stories. Hashtag no baby daddy. I don't know what that is. I don't know nothing about no baby daddy. No baby daddy over here. I don't even advocate for that nonsense. I don't advocate for that nonsense. Everybody over here ain't baby daddied up. Everybody over here out here ain't single parent. Everybody out here ain't on the struggle train. Everybody out here ain't qualifying. How about that? Qualifying for Section 8 or EBT. That's what I'm saying, as quiet as it kept. So y'all don't be believing that shit, because that's the thing. A lot of y'all want to believe that that's the story of black people. Meanwhile, black women got the most degrees than every goddamn body. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. How are we running around with the highest education, but though we all down bad like y'all want us to believe that we are down bad? See, these are things y'all, some people want to tell themselves just to sleep at night. But you can lie to yourself all the hell you want. It don't make it the truth. It don't make it the truth. The truth of the matter is there are a large number of black people are doing very well. I live in a community with them. Y'all see me, I walk. I would say probably my neighborhood is, I would say at least 60% black. I would say my neighborhood is about 60% black. It may even be more than, yeah, it's definitely, I would say, the majority. I live in a neighborhood of black people are just doing the damn thing. Yeah, black people are doing the thing. I got family that lives up the street who are doing the damn things themselves. Shit, if you think this shit neighborhood, I got it's some other neighborhoods where they shit tougher than this. You see what I'm saying? So not all black people are down bad. That's what I'm saying. We're not all down bad. Karmelo Anthony's family was not down bad. My family and the Anthony family, we're not the only two families that are in the U.S. that are not down bad. Disappoint some of you, but oh, the hell well. What they say, the truth hurts. The truth hurts. The truth hurts. Sorry, not sorry. In the words of Wendy Williams, how you doing? How y'all doing? Like the video. Y'all hear Wendy coming back? They say she's coming back. I don't know if she's going back on television, but Wendy Williams is on her way back. She done had a lot of damn years to be sitting on the sideline to be peeping what the hell going on out here. So I'm definitely interested in wanting to know what the hell she finna have to say. But word on the curb is that a good sis, she got released from her conservatory some weeks back, and she will be back out on the scene. So y'all stay up, listen, Buttercup, stay tuned. AJ said the truth. Yes, the truth. Oh, the truth always hurts, but it doesn't negate that it's the truth. The truth always hurts for whatever reason. But what they say, the truth will set you free. And the truth will set one day Karmelo Anthony free. I have faith that that will happen. I have faith that that will happen. But on that note, have you liked the video? Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for joining me on this Friday. It was Juneteenth. Y'all celebrating Juneteenth? Y'all got something to celebrate? Y'all let me know what y'all celebrating. Because this shit that's going on out here, it's comical. Juneteenth, you want us to be celebrating Juneteenth, but we got all this oppression taking place with my people as a collective. See, here's the thing. Even though my neighborhood may look a certain way, my deposits may look a certain way, when you know, it has absolutely nothing to do with how you're treated by the system. See, the system can still work very, very hard overtime to oppress you. That has absolutely nothing to do with your social economic class. Absolutely nothing. If the system want to come for you and take you down, and if that is their agenda, that is what they will be out to do. Whether your lifestyle is like mine, or whether your lifestyle is that of someone who's in a poor community, that has nothing to do with how the system may or may not come for you. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I'm Black, just like someone who can be in an underserved community is Black. Karmelo Anthony was not in an underserved community. He lived in a middle class, probably upper middle class community, Collin County, and look what type of treatment he got. So it doesn't have anything to do with what you have in your bank account, what kind of car you drive, because the white tea people, the people who are controlling the system, have given us plenty of examples to show us that they could break us and they can take away whatever it is that we got whenever they choose to. Period. When you know, you know. When you know, you know. And that's why my people today, we tired of this bullish, and we're moving the way that we are because we see what's happening. We see what's happening. And what do they say? It's strength in numbers. There's strength in numbers. So we are banding together. Guess what? Like other groups of people. Why is it okay for them to do it, but we can't? But we don't give a damn. So we no longer sitting and waiting for an answer to that question. We don't care. We standing on business. We are standing on business. We're standing on business, and I'm so proud of our people for doing that, because it's been a long time coming. But what they say is better late than never. Is better late than never. FBA, Foundational Black Americans, we are standing on business, and it is a beautiful thing, and it's something that's getting global attention. Everyone around the world is seeing Black people on code. You're hearing Black people recognize that we have no allies. Allies are the people who, when you turn to your right and your left, they're standing beside you. We do not see that when we're fighting for our causes. We don't even see that with the African community, other Black people who have my skin tone. FBA, Foundational Black American people, we are on our own. But we're like, we're good. We're standing on our own. We recognize what it is. We recognize what it is. We're no longer in denial about the reality that everybody is not for us. We're on some, hey, hell, it is what it is. So we got to do what we got to do. We got to do what we got to do. So that's what you're seeing. So as you continue to see it play out in the media, just remember what I said. Black people are standing on business, and we're no longer in the shadows. We're no longer looking for handouts from other groups of people, other cultural groups. We're like, yeah, that's all right. We got it. We got it. So on that note, please like, share, and subscribe. Catch the replay if you happen to come in late. My name is Sheik. Yeah, we were just talking all things updates on Karmelo Anthony. Um, the case with the 1-year-old that was unalived at the in the parking lot of the Walmart shopping center. Research that case if you're not familiar with it, or you can be a part of the replay game. Replay this video so you can learn more about what happened. What happened? What happened? We, the people, have questions. I still have questions, but I did come with a lot of information pertaining to that case with the baby that was killed in Mississippi. So, if be a part of replay game so you can learn the details of that. But there's going to be more to come with that case. So, as I learn more information, I will certainly come back to share that with you. But in the meantime, listen, y'all, it's hot. I am in Georgia. I am in Georgia, so stay hydrated. Take care of yourselves and one another. Heavy on the taking care of yourself. As I said, if you don't take care of yourself, ain't nobody else will. So take care of yourself. Do something that makes you feel good, even if it's taking a walk. Some of y'all here being fat, hateful, ugly, and all the things. Log off and go do something kind to yourself. Let's just start there and just try it again tomorrow. How about that? On that note, I will catch y'all the next broadcast.